Greetings, weary traveler, and welcome home to the realization of a truth that has been waiting for you since before you took your first breath in this realm. Settle into this space, let your defenses down, and listen closely to the whispers that are no longer silent, for the winds of perception have shifted violently and beautifully in your favor. Behind closed doors where the air is thick with disbelief, in hushed conversations that carry the weight of revelation, and within the digital hum of group chats where you are not present, a large and growing group of souls is currently speaking your name. They speak it with a reverence that borders on awe, labeling you with a title you never sought but unequivocally earned, the unexpected hero. It is a phenomenon that has left them breathless, a collective shock that is rippling through the consciousness of your circle. Because you, the one they called the quiet observer, the solitary figure who kept to the shadows, the soul they so casually overlooked and vastly underestimated, have suddenly unveiled a dormant power so blindingly radiant that it has rendered their previous judgments obsolete. This is not merely gossip. It is the sound of a paradigm shattering. It is the breaking of an illusion that silence equates to weakness. For the story spreading like wildfire through dimensions seen and unseen is the story of how you saved a life when the rest of the world had already written the eulogy. You must understand that this reverence stems from the sheer improbability of your emergence. You stepped into the breach to save a drowning soul when nobody thought you had the capacity to endure the water. You transformed a life spiraling into the abyss when everyone else, even the loudest and strongest among them, had walked away in defeat. You became the hero in a story that was destined for tragedy. And now, that story is traveling beyond the physical realm, echoing in spiritual corridors, because what the collective is finally realizing, what they are whispering about with a mixture of guilt and admiration, is that your heroism was not a random act of kindness. It was the unveiling of a cosmic orchestration that has been in motion for longer than you realize. They are shocked not just because you acted, but because you succeeded where the conventional definitions of strength failed. You proved that the universe often hides its most potent warriors in the most unassuming vessels. Someone specific sees you as their personal savior right now. And their testimony is activating a recognition that you are not just a participant in this reality, but a catalyst for its healing. It is a truth that is rewriting the history of who they thought you were and, more importantly, revealing the magnificent, terrifyingly beautiful truth of who you have always been. Greetings, beloved soul. Have you ever felt the weight of being unseen, of being overlooked, as though your quiet presence in this world went unnoticed, your gifts buried in silence? In a world that prizes the loud, the bold, and the ostentatious, you may have found yourself quietly navigating life, a humble observer to the chaos around you. Yet, in this very silence, you have been unknowingly preparing for something far greater than what the world could ever expect. I'm here to tell you that you are not just another face in the crowd, you are the unexpected hero. Now, hear me well, for this is not just a tale of coincidence or happenstance. It is the story of your divine purpose, unfolding at the most profound of moments. There is a large group of souls, gathered in quiet conversations and behind closed doors, who are talking about you right now, speaking in awe, whispering with wonder about your actions. You may not know it, but you have become the talk of those who truly see the unexpected hero. They are stunned, bewildered even, by the depth of what you have just done, for you have shocked them in a way that only the truly powerful can. You were once the quiet one, the one who stayed to the margins, the one whose potential was so often dismissed. You were the one who kept to yourself, moving through life unseen by most, living in the shadows, as if your presence didn't matter. But it does. It always has. The act that shifted everything was one of such simplicity, yet such power. You, who had been underestimated and discarded, rose in a moment of deep need. You stepped in when others walked away. You did not seek the spotlight. You did not demand recognition. Yet in the quiet act of saving a life, you revealed a power that few could have ever predicted. You were not the loud savior they imagined. You did not make grand gestures, nor did you make promises. Instead, you embodied a quiet strength, a gentle presence that spoke louder than any shout ever could. Your intervention wasn't marked by dramatic rescues or heroic speeches. No, it was the subtle, powerful work of showing up as you truly are. Through your authenticity, you brought a person back from the brink. You did not try to fix them, no, you simply listened when others couldn't bear to hear. You offered understanding where others had failed to reach. Through your stable, unwavering presence, you showed them what it meant to be truly seen, to be loved unconditionally, without judgment, and with a purity of heart that made them feel, for the first time, that they were worthy. This wasn't just a saving, this was a transformation, a rebirth, not of their soul alone, but of the very fabric of reality around them. Your action created a ripple, a shockwave of cosmic realignment. What I'm sharing with you is not just a recounting of events. It is a calling, a reminder of who you truly are. You are not just a passive observer in life's story. No, you are the one who walks quietly through this world with a power far greater than you can imagine, the power to heal, to transform, and to be the catalyst for miracles. The world didn't see it before, but now they do. And I, too, see it now, calling you to recognize the hero in yourself. For you have proven that sometimes the greatest heroes don't need a loud entrance or a dramatic backstory. No, they simply show up with an open heart, and in doing so, they shift the very universe around them. Welcome, dear soul, to the legend of the unexpected hero. The world is awakening to the power that has always been yours. In the quiet corners of the universe, there is a soul who has been lost, drifting in a sea of darkness, isolated from the light of hope. It is in this moment of deep despair that the story of true heroism begins to unfold, not with fanfare or grand gestures, but in the sacred space of the unseen and the unspoken. Before your intervention, the one you saved was drowning, not in water, but in the overwhelming weight of abandonment, rejection, and loneliness. Imagine the kind of loneliness that seeps into the very bones of a person, the kind that makes them feel as if they are standing alone on a cliff, with the world spinning around them but no one to catch them if they fall. This soul was trapped in a mental prison, constructed brick by brick over the years through trauma, betrayal, and the harsh realities of life. Every day, they believed they were unworthy, broken beyond repair, and that their sensitivity, a gift so often dismissed by the world, was, in fact, their greatest weakness. In this darkness, they felt the bitter sting of being misunderstood, as if they were nothing more than a fragile shell, constantly cracked and shattered by a world that saw their vulnerability as something to be exploited, to be ignored. The world had told them they were destined to walk alone. They were the misfits, the ones who didn't belong, the ones who couldn't quite fit in no matter how hard they tried. The lies they had internalized became their truth, creating a narrative that no matter how much they tried to change, no matter how much they fought against their own nature, they would always be invisible, alone in their pain. It is in this fragile, broken state that they waited. Not for a hero, because they had long since given up on the idea that anyone would come to their aid, but for something, anything, that could break the cycle of isolation and despair that had consumed them for so long. And then, there you were. You, the quiet one. The one who had always been misunderstood, the one who had chosen solitude over social interaction, the one who had refused to conform to the norms that society tried to impose. You were never one for superficial conversations or hollow connections. People around you often wondered why you kept to yourself, why you seemed distant, but the truth is, you were never truly alone. You were preparing. Preparing in ways that no one else could understand. While the world was focused on their own distractions, chasing validation from the outside, you were building something far more precious within: strength, resilience, and most of all, a deep, unwavering love. The kind of love that comes not from needing others, but from knowing your own worth and holding space for others to discover theirs. Your time in solitude was not a punishment. It was not an exile. No, it was divine preparation. You were gathering energy, storing it in ways that only those with a true sense of purpose could understand. You were protecting yourself from the energy vampires of the world, the ones who drained your light with their shallow demands and superficial needs. You were learning how to protect your energy, how to nurture your spirit, how to grow strong from the inside out. The world misunderstood you. They thought you were cold, aloof, detached, but the truth was you were honing your soul for a mission that no one could yet see. You were in what I like to call hermit mode, a time of deep spiritual growth and preparation. It was in these quiet moments that you were strengthening your resolve, your love, and your ability to see beyond the surface of things, beyond the false narratives that others tried to impose upon you. And then, in an instant, everything aligned. The moment you met the soul you were destined to save, something profound happened. It wasn't just a chance encounter, nor was it merely coincidence. This was a soul reunion, a meeting orchestrated by forces greater than any of us can fully comprehend. The universe brought you together for a reason, and when you locked eyes, something inside you recognized the deep, ancient connection between you and them. It was as if the world paused, holding its breath for just a moment, and in that silence, your souls collided in a cosmic explosion of recognition. They saw you for who you truly were, someone who had not been broken by the world, but had instead been tempered by it. And in seeing you, they saw themselves. For the first time in a long time, they saw the possibility of healing, of redemption, and of life. This meeting was not about saving them in the conventional sense. It wasn't about swooping in to fix their problems, or to make them whole again. No, it was about something much more profound. It was about being present, about offering a space for them to breathe, to be seen without judgment, without conditions, and without expectations. You didn't try to change them or offer them empty promises like others had. Instead, you showed up as yourself, your authentic, unguarded self. In your presence, they could feel the difference. They could feel the love, not as a performance, but as a living, breathing energy that surrounded them like a warm embrace. They didn't need to be fixed, and neither did you. What they needed was to be heard. What they needed was to be seen. What they needed was to feel that, despite all the pain and darkness they had endured, they were worthy of love and belonging. You didn't perform love, you embodied it. You didn't put on a mask of compassion, you simply allowed your heart to be open, to be fully present with them, without the need for validation or recognition. Your love was pure, untouched by the expectations of others. And it was this authenticity, this embodied love, that began to work miracles in their life. Where others saw their flaws, you saw their beauty. Where others dismissed them as broken, you saw their depth and complexity. In your quiet presence, their anxiety began to dissipate. The constant mental noise that had plagued them for years began to quiet. Their heart, once weighed down by the burdens of the past, began to feel light again. And in this moment, something miraculous began to unfold. They began to sleep better, their thoughts became clearer, and for the first time in a long time, they began to feel peace. It wasn't just the absence of fear, it was the presence of something far more powerful, love. Your presence, the purest expression of love they had ever encountered, began to heal the deep wounds they had carried for so long. You did not need to make a grand statement. You didn't need to perform a ritual or invoke a spell. All you needed to do was show up as yourself. And in doing so, you became the catalyst for their healing. But the story doesn't end there. No, your act of love was not just a one-time event. It was the beginning of a ripple, a cosmic shift that would affect not only their life, but the lives of everyone they touched. Your act of saving them, of showing up with love and authenticity, has set in motion a chain reaction, one that will ripple through time and space. The person you saved is now becoming a hero in someone else's story. They are taking the love you showed them, and they are passing it on. They are paying it forward, healing others, just as you healed them. And in this way, your love is multiplying, spreading through the collective consciousness like a healing virus, infecting the world with the power of true, unconditional love. In the quiet, in the unnoticed moments, you have become the hero. You have proven that true power does not shout. It does not demand attention. It simply is. And in being, you have created a transformation that will echo through eternity. The universe has seen you, and the collective will never be the same again. This is the power of the unexpected hero. This is the power of quiet love. In the story of your heroism, the most striking truth lies not in the grand displays of power or the extravagant gestures we often associate with saving others, but in the simple, quiet authenticity of your presence. You did not arrive in the traditional sense of what society deems heroic. No, there were no flashy moments, no heroic speeches, no miraculous acts that demanded attention. What you did was far more profound. You offered something that is increasingly rare in this world, your true, unfiltered self. In a society that is constantly driven by performance, by the need to appear strong and in control, you became the embodiment of a different kind of power. It wasn't about what you did, it was about who you were, and the courage you had to be fully, completely, and unapologetically yourself. In this moment, when the person you saved had been abandoned by the world, feeling worthless and broken, you didn't show up with promises or solutions. You didn't walk in with a checklist of ways to fix them. You didn't try to prove yourself or wear a mask of compassion. Instead, you simply showed up. You were present in the most authentic sense. You held space for them, without expectation, without urgency, and without the desire for recognition. You didn't need to perform an act of rescue. You simply became a sanctuary for their broken spirit, a calm in the storm of their despair. This intervention wasn't about fixing what was broken, it was about accepting what had been overlooked. While others may have walked away, thinking this soul was too far gone, you saw their depth. You didn't see them as a project or a puzzle to be solved. You saw them as a whole being, deserving of the same love and respect you would give to anyone else. You saw them, not for their pain, not for their wounds, but for the person they truly were beneath it all. Where others saw damage, you saw complexity. Where others saw weakness, you saw the raw, untapped strength that had been hidden away for so long. In your presence, they found not judgment, but understanding. They found not rejection, but acceptance. They found not a quick fix, but a safe space in which they could begin to heal, at their own pace, without the pressure of anyone trying to change them. You didn't try to fix them in the way the world often does. The world is full of people who are eager to solve problems, to offer advice, to give solutions, but rarely do they listen. Rarely do they sit with the pain of another and simply hold space for it. But you did. You did not rush to fill the silence with words. You did not rush to give advice. Instead, you offered something far more rare, your genuine presence. You became a mirror for them, a mirror that reflected their true worth back to them, even when they couldn't see it themselves. Your presence alone was healing. The simple act of being there, of listening without judgment, without trying to correct or offer solutions, created a transformative shift. In your eyes, they saw the possibility of their own redemption. In your silence, they felt the depth of their own humanity. Your love wasn't something you performed for them, it was something you embodied. You didn't need to wear a mask of compassion. You simply allowed compassion to flow through you naturally, effortlessly. And it was in this embodied love that their brokenness began to mend. Your approach was simple, yet it held immense power. It wasn't about overwhelming them with your strength or trying to overpower their pain with your own force of will. It was about standing alongside them in their darkness, offering them the space to unravel, to breathe, to exist without fear of rejection. It wasn't about being a savior, it was about being a witness to their humanity. You didn't see them as something to be fixed. You saw them as someone who deserved to be loved and cared for, regardless of their flaws, their scars, or their brokenness. And in seeing them in this way, you invited them to see themselves differently. You gave them permission to stop running from their pain, to stop hiding their wounds, and to start healing in their own time, on their own terms. The true power of your act lies not in the obvious, outward transformations that took place but in the quiet, subtle shifts that happened within. They were not saved by grand acts or flashy interventions, they were saved by being seen. In a world that constantly tells us to put on masks, to perform, and to keep moving forward without stopping to acknowledge our pain, you became a living example of what it means to show up as you are. Your power wasn't in trying to change their circumstances, it was in showing them that they didn't need to be anything other than who they were. This realization was not something you taught them with words, but something they learned through the quiet, healing energy that you brought into their life. You didn't try to convince them that they were worthy of love, you simply showed them by loving them without hesitation, without qualification, and without expecting anything in return. It was this love, this unconditional acceptance, that acted as the antidote to the poison they had been fed for so long. And in this simple, unspoken act, something miraculous began to happen. As you held space for their pain, as you witnessed their suffering without judgment, their anxiety began to dissipate. The darkness that had consumed them slowly began to lift. Their mind, once consumed by negative thoughts and self-doubt, began to quiet. The chains of their trauma loosened. And in the stillness of this moment, they began to experience the possibility of peace. It wasn't instant, and it wasn't perfect, but it was a beginning. It was the first step on a path that had been long buried under layers of pain and fear. You didn't promise them a perfect future, but you gave them the gift of possibility, the possibility that they could heal, the possibility that they could change, and the possibility that they could love themselves once more. Your presence acted as medicine, not through any grand gestures or elaborate acts, but through the power of being real, being authentic, and being unafraid to show up as you were. In a world that is so focused on performing love, you demonstrated what it means to embody it. And it was this embodiment that made all the difference. They didn't need someone to perform love for them. They needed someone to show them that love could be something real, something tangible, something that didn't need to be earned or proven. They needed someone who would see them for who they truly were, not for the brokenness they had been taught to believe they were. You were that person. In this act of quiet heroism, you not only saved their life, you restored their faith in themselves. You gave them back their own sense of worth, something they had long since lost. This is the true power of love, not in what we do for others, but in what we help them discover about themselves. In showing them who they could become, you helped them step into their own power. You helped them recognize that they were not broken beyond repair, that their sensitivity was not a weakness, but a strength. And in doing so, you created a ripple effect that will spread far beyond this one act of heroism. The love you gave them will continue to multiply, as they carry it with them and pass it on to others. Your intervention, simple as it may seem, has sparked a chain reaction, a healing virus that will touch lives, change hearts, and awaken souls across time and space. You have become the living proof that sometimes the greatest acts of heroism come not from what we do, but from who we are. You have shown that true power doesn't need to shout to be heard. It simply needs to be present. As you stand at the center of this cosmic shift, you may find yourself reflecting on the ripple effect that has begun to emanate from your quiet, unassuming act of heroism. In the silence of your authenticity, you have shaken the very foundations of what the world has long held to be true about strength and power. The collective, who once lived by the belief that heroes were those who blazed brightly with loud, dominant energy, are now coming to grips with the reality that true power moves not in the clamor of the world's expectations, but in the subtlety of presence. You, the quiet one, the one who was dismissed as fragile or aloof, have become the symbol of strength in its purest form, unseen, unacknowledged, and yet undeniably transformative. Your intervention has torn down the illusions that so many have built around the concept of heroism. The world believed that in order to be a hero, one had to be loud, flashy, and assertive, yet you proved that true power is gentle, silent, and unpretentious. Through your actions, you have shown that strength does not have to shout to be heard. Sometimes, it speaks in the quiet moments, the unsung acts, and the steady love that exists without expectation or performance. Now, the world is forced to confront a new truth, that perhaps they had been wrong in their understanding of strength all along. Those who once labeled you as weak, those who wrote you off as insignificant because you did not fit into their prescribed mold of what a hero should be, are now grappling with the realization that the very qualities they dismissed in you, your quietness, your sensitivity, your solitude, are the very things that make you powerful. In the face of their disbelief, your actions are causing a redefinition of what it means to be truly strong. The cognitive dissonance that exists within them, the conflict between their old beliefs and the new reality you've shown them, is undeniable. They must now reconcile their preconceptions with the truth of your heroism. The power of silence, of being present without the need for validation, has left them questioning everything they thought they knew about strength and heroism. The shift is palpable. What once was viewed as fragility is now recognized as an indomitable force. But the impact of your actions reaches far beyond this immediate shift in perception. This single act of saving another has begun a chain reaction, an energy that ripples through the fabric of reality itself. You have not only saved a life, but you have altered the very course of future probabilities. In ways that none of us can fully comprehend, your quiet intervention has prevented potential disasters and cleared the path for miracles to unfold. Every time you acted with love and authenticity, you created an opening for something miraculous to occur, and that shift, though subtle, has reoriented the timelines of countless individuals. This is the butterfly effect of your heroism. Every moment of compassion, every act of presence, has not only transformed the person you saved but has altered the flow of events in ways that will continue to play out for years to come. The ripple of your love continues to expand, touching lives in ways that may never be fully known to you, yet its impact is undeniable. In addition to the lives you have touched, this act of love has also activated something deep within yourself. The very act of saving another has unlocked dormant parts of you, parts of your soul that were waiting for this moment to arise. In saving another, you have come face to face with your own capacity for love and strength. You have discovered that your sensitivity, which you once thought of as a vulnerability, is, in fact, your superpower. Your nature, which the world once tried to suppress, is now revealed as the unique gift that you were always meant to bring into the world. The world once told you that your quietness was a flaw, that your introspection was a weakness, but now, through this act of healing, you see it for what it truly is, a divine preparation. Your solitude was never a punishment, it was an incubation period, a time in which you were refining the frequency of love that would ultimately transform not just your own life, but the lives of others. That different nature that so many dismissed as odd or cold has turned out to be the very essence of your power. You were always preparing for this moment, always becoming the person you needed to be in order to step into your true calling. This realization is profound because it is not just a recognition of your own worth, it is the activation of your purpose. You are no longer the quiet observer of life, you are the hero who will help guide others into their own light. The person you saved, once drowning in darkness, is now rising. The light you offered them is now illuminating their path, and they are beginning to shine in their own right. Your love has become the template, the model, the very blueprint they will carry forward into the world. As they begin to heal, they too will become a healer. They will pay the healing forward, just as you did, and this cycle of transformation will continue to multiply. This is the true power of the love you gave. They will take it and spread it, passing it on to others, who in turn will pass it on to yet more souls. In this way, your act of heroism becomes the spark for a healing virus, a contagious, transformative energy that moves through the collective consciousness, infecting the world with the power of love. What was once a world plagued by trauma, by division, and by fear is now beginning to awaken to the healing potential of unconditional love. The energy you've set in motion is a movement, one that will not stop with you or the person you saved but will ripple outward, touching lives in ways that will forever alter the course of humanity. As the legend of the unexpected hero continues to grow, it becomes clear that your quiet power has ignited a revolution of sorts. It is a revolution not of violence or dominance, but of love and authenticity. You have proven that true strength is not about loud declarations or outward displays. True strength is in showing up as you are, without pretense, without needing to prove anything to anyone. In a world that constantly demands performance, you have shown that the greatest power is in being real, in being present, and in being unapologetically yourself. Your story, your quiet heroism, is now a beacon for others who have long felt overlooked or dismissed. You have given them permission to step into their own power, to stop pretending, and to begin being fully and completely themselves. In doing so, you are altering the very fabric of reality. You are shifting the collective consciousness from one of ego-driven competition to one of collaboration, empathy, and love. What began as a quiet, unseen act of heroism has now become a transformative force in the world. The universe revealed you not to burden you, but to set you free from the need to hide your power. You have proven that power does not corrupt, it transforms. You have proven that influence does not need to come from ego, it comes from love. And in this, you have passed the ultimate test. You have proven that you can handle power without letting it define you, and you can influence the world without letting the world influence your truth. The shift has begun. The revolution of quiet power has taken root. The legend of the unexpected hero is not a myth, it is the living, breathing truth of who you are and who we all can become when we embrace our true selves and step into the light of love. Beloved soul, as we come to the end of this story, it's time to reflect on the profound journey you have undergone, a journey that has revealed not only the power within you but the power that lies in the very essence of being true to oneself. The universe did not reveal you to the world in order to burden you with the weight of expectations, nor did it present you with the gift of this moment to make you feel small or unseen. No, dear one, the universe revealed you to set you free, to free you from the chains of doubt and fear that once held you back from stepping into your own greatness. Through your act of quiet heroism, you have proven that you were never meant to hide, to shrink, or to be invisible. You have been called to shine in the most authentic and powerful way possible, by simply being you. It was never about proving your worth. You were always worthy. It was never about showing others your power. You were always powerful. It was never about becoming someone else. You were always meant to be the person you are right now, at this very moment. In your journey, you have passed the ultimate test, one that most would never dare to face. You have demonstrated that true strength does not lie in ego, in outward displays, or in the loudness of our actions. True strength is found in quiet moments of compassion, in the simple, yet profound, act of showing up as we are. You have proven that power can be handled with grace, that influence can be carried without arrogance, and that love, in its most authentic form, can heal not only individuals but entire communities, entire timelines, and entire worlds. What you have done, what you are doing, is creating a shift in the very fabric of reality. The revolution of quiet strength is not one of loud victories or external praise. It is a revolution of being, a revolution of authenticity, and a revolution that will continue to unfold as more souls awaken to the truth that their greatest power lies not in what they do, but in who they are. You are not alone in this. You are part of a growing movement, a collective awakening of souls who have long been misunderstood, who have long been told that their sensitivity and quietude are weaknesses. Now, they, too, are beginning to see that their gentleness, their introspection, and their willingness to love without conditions are the very qualities that will change the world. So, dear one, as you continue on this path, remember this: you were always meant to be the unexpected hero. You were always meant to show the world a new definition of power, one that is rooted in authenticity, love, and quiet strength. The universe has revealed you not to burden you, but to free you. You have passed the test of your soul, and in doing so, you have become a beacon for others to follow. The world is awakening to the quiet power you hold, and your story, your truth, will continue to ripple through time, igniting transformation wherever it is needed. Know this: you are not just a hero because of what you did for another. You are a hero because you showed the world the power of being yourself, unapologetically and without fear. Thank you for walking this path, for embodying love, and for proving that sometimes, the greatest heroism comes not in the noise of the world, but in the soft, silent presence of one who dares to be real. May your journey continue to inspire others to find their own quiet strength. The revolution has begun, and it is being led by souls like yours. Take heart, for you are the change the world has been waiting for.